We're here with Mayor David Held, Mayor of North Canton, for how many years now?
Since 2005.
Okay. And there is a matter that's coming up before council that's kind of a hot button issue, and that has to do with the collaboration between Plain Township, Jackson Township, North Canton, and City of Canton.
Yes.
And my question starter is, I talked to Plain Township trustee Louis Giovasis within probably the last week, and he says, well, when is North Canton going to get moving?
Right.
And I said, well, I understand that Mayor Held is going to veto that legislation if council passes it. So is anything changed with Mayor Held?
Yeah, I think really what it is that when you look at this agreement is a 50-year agreement, because what we do know is that there is a restriction where the city is unable to bring in a willing property owner or a business that may want to come into the city under this agreement. So there's a 50-year, it's essentially a 50-year agreement. So my thought is, before we enter into a 50-year agreement, we need to fully understand what the implications are to the city of North Canton. I do understand that Jackson Township, the city of Canton, and Plain Township, they fully understand the implications of the agreement for their political subdivision. But I can say right now, the city of North Canton, at least myself, I do not fully understand the present implications of this agreement if we were to enter into it today, and then the future implications over the next 50 years. So a couple of things is, we don't want to enter into this 50-year agreement with ignorance or haste. And I think that we need to take the time to fully understand the implications upon the city of North Canton. I completely agree that we need to cooperate with our partners, because that's going to make us stronger. But at the same time, we have to make sure that our first priorities are met, which is serving the people of the city of North Canton. And so that's what we're doing.
So right now you're at the place that you don't think it's to North Canton's advantage.
Right now, based upon what I'm looking at with the agreement, we look at 4 sources of revenue: income tax, property tax, hotel tax, and also water revenue. Under this agreement, as I understand it, the income tax could go up, or for the next 50 years it could remain at 0, because we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what the potential revenue is going to be. We look at the property tax. We know the property tax is 0 under this agreement to the city of North Canton. We look at the bed tax. We know that the bed tax is 0 for the city of North Canton. We look at the water revenue. The water revenue could stay the same under this agreement, or it could go down. So what we do know, which is for certain in this agreement, is that the annexation restriction will take effect from the date of the signing for the next 50 years. And when you look at the township and the municipalities, what this comes down to is that municipalities, they want to grow their income tax base. And they do that through bringing in cities. You could historically annex a city, what would be considered a hostile annexation. Or in some cases, because we have water agreements, you can have businesses that willingly come into the city because we've provided them water. From the township's perspective, they're naturally going to look at any action by the city to annex, whether it's willingly or unwillingly. They are going to perceive that, obviously, as something that's unwanted. And so I understand that. And in summary, what I think we need to do is, I need to be able to answer to the people of North Canton as far as what the upside is, or the potential benefit, and what the restrictions are. I'm really clear on the restrictions, but I'm really unclear as far as the benefits.
Is there any light at the end of the tunnel in terms of you becoming informed to the point?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
where would that information come from?
Well, we hired an attorney who has a great deal of experience in this area, and she's going to be giving a review of the agreement.
Columbus, correct?
Bricker and Eckler out of Columbus. They're what we believe to be the best experts in this field, and we're going to, she's going to be reviewing this agreement, and she's going to share with the administration and the council the benefits to the agreement, And if there are any negative aspects to it, she'll be sharing that with us. So really, it's just having a professional review of the agreement so that we know what we're getting into.
Is that likely to be determinative of action or inaction?
No, I think that it's in the next. We should have the agreement in the next couple of weeks. But my thought is that if her review comes back and says that this is the best deal for the city of North Canton, we will absolutely, I would recommend that we approve it and that I sign it. And if she comes back and says, okay, there are some things that you need to consider or some adjustments that need to be made, then we can do that also. But I wouldn't say that it's all or nothing or, we're for or against, because I think just like anything in government or any sort of, 50-year agreement, there's a level of negotiation that has to take place so that you achieve a win-win. If it's lopsided, then it typically doesn't work. Or if there's areas of the agreement that are ambiguous or vague, typically those agreements don't last well long-term either.
Okay. Well, then, as far as the mayor of North Canton is concerned, you're still open-minded.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Given your current state of knowledge, you'd be compelled to veto, but you're open to examination by this law firm, and it could be that you agree that it is best for North Canton. And of course, to Trustee Geovasis, I assume that the answer would be we're going to take whatever time we need to be clear on the impact of this collaboration is on the citizens of North Canton. Is that
yeah? I wouldn't say that we would take whatever time that we need, because the trustees, Lou Geovasis and Randy Gonzalez, and the trustees from Jackson and Plain, and also our council president John Snyder and Dan Griffith and our law director, they invested a lot of time representing the city of North Canton in the negotiations with Canton, Jackson, and Plain. So we don't want to disrespect the time and effort that they've put into this, but I think it's just, what I have learned is that the more time that we take to understand the implications, both present and long-term on any agreement, it just makes for a better decision. So it's not, I certainly don't want to appear that I'm being obstinate or uncooperative, because that's really important that we cooperate with our neighbors. But what I want to do is just make sure that we fully understand the agreement, and is it going to be, a truly a win-win? And if it is, then I would sign it and I would recommend that council approve it.